If you're moving to Lexington, Kentucky, you have got to know about these 12 iconic local landmarks. These spots tell the story of Lexington's history and culture, help you get your bearings, and then instantly make you feel more connected to your new home. Plus, they are perfect for weekend adventures or conversations with locals, or those moments where you're like, yep, I live here now. Shout out to Lex Today and their article on Lexington's most iconic landmarks because it is the base of today's info, and if you don't already have their site pinned, do it. Great stuff. All right, let's jump in. Number 1, the Old Courthouse at 215 West Main Street, right in the middle of downtown Lexington. It was built back in the mid-1800s and fully restored after sitting empty for years. Now it's a total showpiece again, home to Zim's Cafe and the Thirsty Fox Bar, plus event spaces and a visitor center. The architecture itself is stunning. The limestone arches, the stained glass dome. I love popping over for a picture after I'm done walking around at the farmer's market, which runs year-round in Lexington and operates right next door to the courthouse. So fun. Number 2, Thoroughbred Park, located at 100 Midland Avenue, which is near a Cup of Commonwealth Coffee and Carson's Food and Drink on Main, which are pretty much icons in their own right. But this park is pure Lexington. Life-size bronze horses mid-gallop, jockeys pushing towards the finish line, sounds that actually mimic the roar of the crowd. So the park was designed by a local artist to celebrate our horse racing roots. And it is full of plaques honoring legends who made Lexington the horse capital of the world. Grab a coffee and take a stroll. Number 3, Ashland, the Henry Clay Estate, located at 120 Sycamore Road, just southeast of downtown. This was built in the early 1800s and was home to Henry Clay, who is one of Kentucky's most influential historical figures and known nationwide as the Great Compromiser. He was a US Senator, Speaker of the House, and even ran for president 3 times. Clay was the guy people turned to when the country was on the brink of falling apart. He brokered deals that literally kept the Union together before the Civil War. Anyway, his estate, Ashland, gives you a peek inside that era. From the mansion filled with artifacts and portraits to the gardens where he used to walk and think, it's like stepping into a piece of early American history right here in the middle of Lexington. So the mansion is gorgeous, but honestly, it's the grounds that steal the show. So they're manicured gardens, seasonal flowers, there's some yoga on the lawn, and long walking paths through 18 acres of peace and history. Side note, if you're thinking about moving here and want to live in the historic district or avoid the historic district, I've got you. My name is Shelby Johnson. I'm an Army veteran turned real estate agent, and I would love to help you find the area in Lexington that's right for you. Hit me up. Number 4, the Kentucky Theater, located at 214 East Main Street, downtown near Central Library and Phoenix Park. So this one is just pure nostalgia. The Kentucky Theater opened in 1922 and survived fires and near closures, and is still one of the most charming places in town to catch a movie or a live event. It's got that really old school Art Deco feel with velvet seats, gold trim, popcorn, the whole 9 yards, and the marquee lighting up Main Street, classic. Number 5, Rupp Arena, located at 430 West Vine Street near Triangle Park, downtown. This place is sacred ground for Kentucky basketball fans. Since 1976, it's been home to the University of Kentucky Wildcats, the winningest program in college basketball history. And when Big Blue Nation fills those seats, y'all, it is electric. We're talking 20,000 fans decked out in blue, chanting "Go Big Blue," and living and breathing every play. The arena is named after our legendary coach Rupp, who led the Cats to 4 national championships and helped cement UK's identity as basketball royalty. But the Rupp Arena isn't just hoops. It's also hosted icons like Elton John, Garth Brooks, Dave Chappelle, and after a $310 million renovation, it's now part of Central Bank Center, which added new concourses, restaurants, and event spaces. So between games, concerts, and expos, there's always something going on. Number 6, the Kentucky Horse Park, located at 4089 Ironworks Parkway, which is way north Lexington. It is 1,200 acres of pure horse country. The Kentucky Horse Park opened in the late 70s and basically is a mix of a working horse farm, a museum, and then a world-class competition venue. You can meet retired racehorses, you can visit the Hall of Champions, or even go on trail rides. And at Christmas, it turns into Southern Lights, which is a drive-through holiday light show, and it's unreal. Number 7, Mary Todd Lincoln House, located at 578 West Main Street, also downtown. You've probably heard of Abraham Lincoln, right? 16th President of the United States. He led the country through Civil War, ended slavery. Well, Mary Todd Lincoln was his wife, and she was born and raised right here in Lexington. She grew up in one of the city's wealthiest, most politically connected families. And she was sharp, outspoken, and way ahead of her time. So not your typical Southern woman in the 1800s. Her childhood home, the Mary Todd Lincoln House, was built in 1803 and became the first historic site in the country ever restored in honor of a first lady. Inside you'll see family heirlooms, artifacts that show her journey from Kentucky debutante to one of America's most complex first ladies, and a reminder that Lexington helped shape not just her story, but a part of American history too. Number 8, the old Morrison building at Transylvania University. This is located at 300 North Broadway on Transy's campus. So most people hear Lexington and instantly think University of Kentucky, but you know what? There is another college in town with roots that go back even further. So that's Transylvania University, or Transy's as the locals call it. It is a private liberal arts university that was founded in 1780, making it one of the oldest universities west of the Alleghenies. So Old Morrison is its crown jewel, a building built in 1833. It's one of the most recognizable buildings in Lexington with these massive white columns, total Greek revival vibes. It was designed by the same architect who designed Kentucky's state capitol. It is the centerpiece of campus, stately, historic, and supposedly haunted, as 2 early university presidents were buried in a crypt beneath the front steps, and students swear things still get weird after dark. Number 9, Keeneland, which is Lexington's world-famous horse track and auction house. Located at 4201 Versailles Road, which is West Lexington, near the Bluegrass Airport. So Keeneland opened in 1936 and was built not just as a racetrack, but as a way to preserve the integrity and tradition of thoroughbred racing. Today, it is a National Historic Landmark and one of the most beautiful race courses in the world. Ivy-covered grandstands, oak-lined driveways, rolling bluegrass hills in the background, like it is cinematic. Keeneland was built by local horsemen who wanted to honor the sport of racing and not the flashy gambling side that it had turned into in a bunch of areas. So it is all about tradition and craftsmanship and quiet class, a place where the focus stays on the horses and not so much the hype. That said, you might feel differently after going to one of the meets that happen for 3 weeks in April and 3 weeks in October, because they are next level. So bourbon in hand, bow ties, big hats, the smell of fresh turf in the air. But Keeneland is home to both live racing and the Keeneland sales, where some of the most valuable horses on earth, we're talking multi-million-dollar yearlings, are bought and sold. In fact, nearly every Kentucky Derby winner in recent decades has ties to Keeneland sales. Even in off-season, it's worth visiting for a tour, breakfast with the trainers, or checking out the Keeneland Library. And if you're thinking about moving here and want to plan a weekend just to test it out in person, hit me up. I will send you my list of favorite restaurants, bonus things to do. Plus, I'm happy to show you around neighborhoods you might be interested in living in. Number 10, hope you're not sick of horses yet, because number 10 is the Secretariat Statue, which is located at 2450 Old Frankfort Pike, Northwest Lexington. Secretariat was a legendary thoroughbred racehorse, widely considered the greatest of all time. In 1973, he won the Triple Crown, setting records that still stand today. Known for his unreal speed, power, and heart, like literally heart, which was twice the size of a normal horse's heart, he became the national icon and cemented Kentucky's place in the center of the racing world. And along Old Frankfort Pike, one of the prettiest drives in Kentucky, you are going to find a 3,800-pound bronze statue honoring that legacy. The monument sits among story panels about the nearby farms and the bloodlines that built the bluegrass. This is a quick and meaningful stop that captures the roots of Kentucky horse racing heritage. Number 11, the Publisher Sculpture, which is at 430 West Vine Street, downtown Lexington by Rupp Arena, which is a landmark that you now know. So the Publisher is a 70-foot tall abstract steel sculpture, all sharp angles and bright red beams, that towers outside Rupp Arena in the Central Bank Center. It was designed by a Lexington-born artist and doesn't represent a person or an object. It's meant to spark curiosity and conversation. Originally, it stood at the Henry Clay Estate before being moved downtown in 2022, where it now stands. And yes, it glows blue on game nights. And number 12, the Big Blue building at 250 West Main Street, again, downtown. This is the Lexington Financial Center, but nobody calls it that. To the locals, it is simply the Big Blue building. It is a 31-story skyscraper made of reflective blue glass, standing as the tallest building in the city and a clear tribute to the University of Kentucky pride. Built in the mid-1980s during Lexington's downtown boom, it is home to banks, law firms, and offices today, but more than that, it is the one building that you can always spot no matter where you are in town, and a reminder that in Lexington, even our skyline bleeds blue. Go Cats. And now that you know some cool, iconic landmarks in Lexington, make sure to check out the top reasons people regret moving here, just to stay well-rounded. Thanks for watching. See you next time.